An Osho Talk. Om Mani Padme Hum. Responses to questions. Number 26.
Often, when I look at the sunset, sadness arises from deep within. It feels as if the sun is my home, the place I will return to when the work is done. But now I have fallen in love with the work, this earth, this existence, these people. I do feel a deep longing to be free, but I wouldn't want to go home alone. Beloved Master, will the work ever be done? Will I ever be able to go home in peace?
It is one of the deep-rooted habits of the mind, always to divide things. And the moment you divide things, you are in trouble. And mind wants you to be always in trouble. Otherwise, the mind has no function. And the greatest trouble it can create is the longing for the home. I call it the greatest trouble because you have never left the home. And mind projects homes. They may be the moon, the sun, or some faraway quasar. These are new contemporary substitutes for a faraway God. Mind is so tricky that if you drop the old division, it immediately replaces it with a new, more refined, more contemporary looking, more intelligent division. In the past, people were wanting to go to heaven, to paradise, to God, and to find peace. I don't think as you are. Even if you meet the God, you will find peace. On the contrary, the meeting with God will create so many problems, so many inquiries, so much anger and rage against God, because He created you without your permission. He created the world full of misery, and you had to live in it. He created all kinds of desires in you which does not seem to be fulfilled. Every desire goes on asking for more and more and more, and there is no end to it. Do you think meeting with God will be a peaceful meeting? It is going to be the greatest fighting encounter and it is good that God does not exist. He cannot exist because of you. So many people with so many problems, and poor God alone with a crackpot son and a Holy Ghost, a strange company. I remember one of the ancient stories that once God used to live on MG Road. But people tortured him so much and no other language you can torture better than in Marathi. Even if two people are in a loving conversation, it seems they are fighting. Marathi is unique in that way. It has no music in it. It seems to have come out of anger, violence, war. It has not come out of people loving each other. Each language has its own stamp from where it has arisen. And people will not bother whether it is day or night, They were continuously surrounding the house of God on MG Road. There are so many complaints to be made. Whom to make the complaints? And everything seems to be wrong in some way or other. Somebody is too tall, somebody is a pygmy. Somebody has accumulated all the riches and somebody is a beggar. Somebody is so beautiful and somebody else is just on the other extreme, so ugly. That people use his photograph for frightening children. Your passport photographs are also used for the same purpose. He asked his company, that this is intolerable. You will have to suggest me to move away. Jesus said, there is no problem. We can go to the Everest. Nobody is going to come there. God said, you are still too young to understand and to see the future. I can see that it is not safe for many more days. Soon there will be reaching people and we will have to move again. Find out something from where we cannot force to move. The Holy Ghost suggested, then the moon is very good. But God said, you don't understand the problem. These mad people are going to reach to the Everest, to the moon, to the Mars for no purpose. But if they find me anywhere, they are going to kill me. Because naturally they think I am responsible for everything. And then finally, a man from the crowd, an old sage, came forward, whispered in God's ear something, and God said, that is the right place. He has said to God that don't go anywhere, just enter into man's own being. there he will never go. That is the only place he avoids. You can be at peace. You think finding home you will be at peace. Your very formulation of the question is based on the division that you are not already at home. And peace is an art that you have to learn, not on some far away sun. Those are meaningless hopes, but right here now. When a great rabbi was dying, his wife, as usual, continued to nag him to the very end. Finally, she said, at least pray to God, make peace with God. The rabbi said, I have never been in quarrel with him. There has never been any conflict between me and him. So the question of peace does not arise. It is not some far away goal that is going to give you peace. It is simply a postponement. You will be the same wherever you are. The first man who landed on the moon was asked after his return, you must have felt very differently. He said, I am sorry to say to you, I felt just the same. Changing places is not going to help, but changing your understanding is certainly going to transform you. You are asking me, often when I look at the sunset, sadness arises from deep within. That sadness is not something negative. It arises to all those people who have a deep sensitivity. Such beauty, and they are stunned. Beauty can be a great shock. But it happens only to very poetic, artistic, sensitive, vulnerable people. It is a misunderstanding on your part, Ravindra, that a sadness arises from deep within. It is not sadness. It is simply a deep silence. Your whole being as if comes to a stop when you see a beautiful sunset or a sunrise. Time stops, mind stops, and those are the things you are accustomed. And this silences of the heart, this new space of which you are not aware, in the beginning always looks like sad. It needs a little more acquaintance with it, and you will be surprised it is not sadness, it is silence. And you can experiment it. Just sit silently and somebody is going to ask you why you are looking so sad. Silence is not an accepted value by the society. From my childhood, I have been sitting silently. By and by, the members of my family became accustomed of it. But in the beginning they used to say, "Why you are looking so sad? Why don't you go out and play?" And when I said, "I have gone in and I am playing," they simply thought that something is wrong with my mind. People go out to play, and this fellow goes in to play. Just look at silence that surrounds a calm and cool lake, the silent waters. In the beginning it will look that the lake is sad, because you are accustomed of noise. If there is no noise, you will feel at a loss. What has happened? I have heard a story, I don't know whether it is true or not. It has to be true. That long back when humanity was not such a big crowd of 5 billion people, they decided that let us see one particular day everybody laughs loudly, dances and jumps for no reason at all. The whole world at a certain moment decided it was worth experimenting what happens. And what happened was very shocking, because everybody thought, when there will be so much noise and laughter and dancing and singing, it is better to remain silent and watch and enjoy the whole thing. But everybody thought the same way. Mind functions the same way. For those 5 minutes that have been chosen for rejoicing, shouting, jumping, whatever want, is felt by you to express your joy. The whole world felt completely silent. And they could not believe what has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong, it is the same mind. Everybody thought that let us watch it. It is going to be great entertainment. If you become a participant, you will not be able to enjoy all kinds of things that will be happening around. But a fact came to their mind that because everything stopped, there was such silence as there has never been. But everybody said it looked so sad. Nobody could look deeper into the phenomenon of silence. You say, I feel sad whenever I see the sun setting.